Hello students, today we'll start with botany discussion of paper 4 and question number 91. Plants retain the capacity for unlimited growth throughout their life because of no differentiation occur, that is incorrect. Due to presence of meristem at certain location in their body, plants show unlimited growth throughout their life, or we can say indeterminate growth. So the answer will be B. Next question is two leaves A and B have initial area 10 centimeter square and 20 centimeter square respectively. If both the leaves have same absolute growth, then relative growth of B. So we'll solve the question for leaf B. Initial area is 20 centimeter square. Absolute growth is 10 centimeter square. So we can say increase in surface area 10 centimeter square. So we'll find relative growth. Formula of relative growth is final minus initial upon initial into 100. So final area 20 plus 10 is 30 minus initial 20 upon initial 20 into 100. So it makes 50% of relative growth. Next question, plants follow different pathway in response to environmental condition or phases of life to form different kind of structure, and this ability is plasticity. It is a direct question from NCERT. It is definition of plasticity, so you can refer NCERT for this also. After a series of experiments on canary grass colleptile, Charles Darwin and his son Francis Darwin observed that tip of colleptile was site of transmittable influence that caused the bending of entire colleptile. You need to keep this in mind that this was bending of entire colleptile and not some part of the colleptile. And auxin was synthesized by tip of colleptile. So mid of colleptile is incorrect, some part of colleptile is incorrect, lower part of colleptile is incorrect. So the answer is B. Next question, statement 1. Only natural auxin have been widely used extensively in agriculture. Both natural and synthetic auxin are used, so this statement is incorrect. Auxin was first isolated from human urine. That statement is correct. So the answer will be C. Statement 1 is wrong and statement 2 is correct. Two leaves having different relative growth can have same absolute growth. This statement is correct. Why it is correct? Suppose two leaves are having different relative growth. This can be understood from this question also. In this question, relative growth for leaf B is 50%, but relative growth for leaf A is 100%. Both have different relative growth, but they both have same absolute growth. The statement is correct. But two leaves having different absolute growth can have same relative growth. That statement is also correct. Suppose we have two leaf A and leaf B. They have different absolute growth and same relative growth. Suppose relative growth is 100% for both the leaf. Initial surface area is 10 centimeter square for A, and absolute growth will be leaf A for 100% relative growth should be 10 centimeter. Okay. Leaf B has initial surface area 20 centimeter square. For 100% of relative growth, the absolute growth should be 20 centimeter square. So both have same relative growth, but both have different absolute growth. So both the statements are correct. Answer will be C. Next question, consider the following two statements. AB act as antagonist to GA. That is correct, but not for fruit ripening. So this statement is incorrect. Adventitious root growth is promoted by auxin in callus. That is correct. In tissue culture, rooting is initiated by auxin. So this statement is correct. So the answer will be B. Only B statement is correct. Hormone important in brewing industry for promoting malting is gibberellic acid. For malting, malting, both the process are initiated by gibberellic acid. Sources of gibberellic acid is higher plant and fungus. That statement is absolutely correct. Climacteric ripening is because of ethylene, and in climacteric ripening, increase of respiration rate is observed, not decrease of respiration rate. So this statement is incorrect. So the answer will be A. Only A statement is correct. Which of the following is not the role of ethylene? Horizontal growth of seedling is the function of ethylene. Abscission of fruit is the function of ethylene. Breaking of bud dormancy is the function of ethylene, but delay of senescence is not the function of ethylene. It is the function of cytokinin. So the answer will be C. Heterophyly according to the development present in all plant except. Because of development, heterophyly can be observed in cotton, coriander and larkspur, but in buttercup, it is because of environmental condition, not because of developmental stages. So the answer will be D, buttercup. Read the following statement with respect to cell cycle and select the correct option. All the events in cell cycle are under genetic control. This statement is correct. DNA synthesis occurs during one specific stage. That is correct, during S phase of cell cycle. Cytoplasmic growth is maximum in M phase. In M phase, cytoplasmic growth cannot be seen, so this statement is incorrect. In interphase, the cell prepare itself for cell division. That statement is also correct. So the answer will be C. Only A, B and D are correct. In this question, the diagram is for prophase. So we have to find incorrect statement related to the above given stage. So incorrect statement for prophase. It is the first stage of mitotic phase. That is correct for prophase. Centriole in animal cell begin to move toward the opposite pole. That is also correct for prophase. Condensation of chromatin fiber. That is also correct for prophase. But spindle fiber attachment take place in metaphase, not in prophase. So this statement is incorrect for this stage. Which of the following is involved in growth of petiole of rice leaves underwater? For this, ethylene is responsible. That is direct question from NCERT. You can refer functions of ethylene from NCERT for this question. Which of the following does not occur in elongation phase of cell growth? Increase in protoplasm is the function or feature of phase of elongation. Vacuole formation is the feature of phase of elongation. Wall deposition also occur in this phase. But cell is maximum and all changes in wall are completed. That is the feature of phase of maturation. So this statement is incorrect for this phase. So the answer will be D. Which hormone is derivative of aminopurine? Derivative of kinetin is aminopurine. So the answer will be C, kinetin. Which of the following statement correctly explain why a plant becomes moisture when the tip of polyptile is removed? This phenomena is decapitation. Now, if we talk about function of auxin, auxin promote apical dominance. That is inhibition of lateral growth formation or lateral shoot formation. But if we remove the tip of the polyptile or shoot, then it promote the growth of lateral shoot. So the answer for this is the removal of the plant tip also remove the auxin present on the tip, which promote that inhibit the growth of axillary bud or lateral bud. So the correct answer will be A. Which one is false? Miller identified and crystallized the cytokinesis promoting active substance. That is correct. Spring juvenile conifers with gibberellic acid hasten the maturity period, thus leading to early seed production. That is a function of gibberellic acid. Gibberellic acid GA3 is commercially available gibberellin. That is also correct. GA cannot increase the length of internode. That statement is incorrect because it is the main function of gibberellic acid. So the answer will be D. Which hormone is used to initiate flowering and synchronize fruit set in pineapple? That is a function of ethylene, and chemical formula for ethylene is C2H4. That is given in NCERT. Statement 1. During genode phase of cell cycle, the cell is metabolically inactive. Actually, the cell is metabolically active, but in terms of cell proliferation or division, it is inactive stage. But cell is metabolically active, so the statement is incorrect. The centrosome undergoes duplication during S phase of interphase. That statement is correct. In S phase, DNA replication take place in nucleus and centrosome replication take place in cytoplasm. So this statement is correct. So the answer will be statement 1 is incorrect, but statement 2 is correct. Next question. Find out the correct statement. PGR are intercellular factor which control growth. If we consider growth of plant, it is controlled by external factor, extrinsic factor, or intrinsic factor. Intrinsic factor have two major factors. Intracellular, that is within the cell. Intercellular, that means in between the cell. This is controlled by PGR. And intracellular factor means the factor which is present inside the cell is genetic factor. So PGR are intercellular factor. That statement is correct. Intrinsic factor which control the growth involve both genetic factor, that means intracellular factor, and PGR, that is intercellular factor. That is also correct. Growth, differentiation, and development are closely related events. So not closely related event is incorrect. So statement 1 and 2 are correct. Next question, this is related to phases of M phase. In prophase, centromere begins to move toward opposite pole of the cell. In NCERT it is given the centrosome which duplicate during S phase will start moving toward the opposite pole in prophase. So in prophase, fourth event will occur. In metaphase, spindle fiber attached to the kinetochore of the chromosome, that is a characteristic of metaphase. Metaphasic plate will be formed, all the chromosome will align at equatorial plane, and spindle fiber attachment to the kinetochore, that is characteristic event of metaphase. In anaphase, sister chromatid or centromere will split. Centromere split and sister chromatid separate, that is a characteristic event of anaphase. In telophase, nucleolus Golgi complex are reformed. So the answer for this question will be D. If during cell cycle the initial amount is denoted as G. So when the cell has entered the cell cycle, the initial amount of DNA is 2C in G1 phase. In S phase or at the end of S phase, the DNA content or DNA will replicate, so the amount of DNA will get double, that will be 4C. So by the end of S phase, it will be 4C. Given below are two statements. One is labeled as assertion and other is labeled as reason. Mitosis is called equational division, that is absolutely correct. Because the number of chromosome in parent and progeny cell are same, that is why it is equational division. So the answer will be both assertion and reason are true, and reason is the correct explanation of assertion. Identify the structure that associate with each other during synapses and the division. Synapses take place between homologous pair and non-sister chromatid of homologous pair. So pair of non-sister chromatid, that is correct, but not for non-homologous chromosome. This is incorrect. Pair of homologous chromosome, that is correct. Pair of sister chromatid, never, recombination always occur between non-sister chromatid of homologous chromosome. So the correct answer is C. This diagram is for arithmetic growth, and growth occur during initial development of embryo from zygote, that is not for arithmetic growth. Cannot be exemplified by root elongation. Root elongation is example of arithmetic growth, or root elongation shows arithmetic growth pattern. So the statement is also incorrect. If we plot parameter of length of organ against time, we get straight line. For if we observe the growth or graph of arithmetic growth, we get the straight line curve. So the statement is correct, and this is the answer for this question. The next question is, statement was one, cell division is very important process in all living organism. That is correct. During interphase, DNA replication and cell growth take place. That statement is also correct. So the answer will be both statement 1 and statement 2 are correct. Next question is, who coined the term kinetin? Just now we have discussed. It was given by Miller or Skoog. So both are correct. Answer will be Skoog and Miller. B. In tissue culture experiment, leaf mesophyll cell are put in culture medium to form callus. This phenomena may be called as, it is dedifferentiation. So what is dedifferentiation? When cells of primary permanent tissue develop to form secondary meristem, this process is termed as dedifferentiation. If we classify leaf mesophyll tissue, that is primary permanent tissue, and when it is getting converted to meristem or callus, so the process is dedifferentiation. Next question, assertion. Plant cell undergo cytokinesis by a different mechanism in comparison to animal cell. That is correct. In plant cell, cell plate formation occur. In animal cell, cell cytokinesis is due to furrow formation. So the statement is absolutely correct. And reason is plant cell are enclosed by relatively inextensible cell wall. That reason is absolutely correct. In plant cells, furrow formation cannot take place because of rigid cell wall. So the answer will be C. Production of cucumber has increased. So production of female flower in cucumber is the function of ethylene. So the answer for this question will be ethylene. Next question, root apical meristem and shoot apical meristem are responsible for primary growth. Both root apical meristem and shoot apical meristem are function of are example of primary meristem, and it contributes to primary growth, which is elongation of plant along the axis. So the statement is correct. Vascular cambium and core cambium, it is secondary meristem or lateral meristem, which mainly contribute in increase in girth of the stem. In monocot and gymnosperm, lateral meristem appear later in life. It should be dicot because in monocot secondary growth is absent. So the statement is incorrect. Next question, arrow exhibit the direction of growth of cells and organ. The statement is also correct. So the answer will be only C is incorrect. Next question, this phase is telophase 1 of meiosis. Okay, so we have two chromosomes, four chromatid 1, 2, 3, 4, and the phase is telophase 1. Next question, mitosis usually result in production of haploid daughter cell from diploid parent. That is the feature of meiosis. So the statement is incorrect. Mitosis is for cell repair or growth of multicellular organism, though both the statements are correct. And genetic complement of in mitosis remains the same. So the statement is incorrect. So the answer will be statement 2 and 3 are correct and 1 and 4 are incorrect. So answer will be D. The growth in plant body is said to be open form of growth. That statement is correct and it is from NCERT. Plant growth is open, plant growth is indeterminate. Growth of pollen tube is measured in terms of length. That statement is also correct. Intercalary meristem is responsible for elongation along the axis but not for increase in diameter. It is the function of lateral meristem. Growth does not occur at cellular level. That is also incorrect. Growth can occur at cellular level. So the answer will be A. This next question is the diagram is for meiosis, and this is anaphase 2 of meiosis. Sister chromatid remain associated at the centromere. In this diagram, we can clearly see the chromatids are being separated. So this statement is incorrect. Extremely extended state of interphase nucleus. This is meiosis 2, anaphase 2. So the statement is also incorrect. Nucleolus and nuclear membrane disappear during prophase 1 or prophase 2, not in this phase. So this is also incorrect. Splitting of centromere take place in this phase. So the statement is correct. In a flowering plant, if cytokinins are not synthesized, then which effect would most probably be seen in the plant? Function of cytokinin is lateral shoot growth, nutrient mobilization, leaf senescence, and cell division. So all are function of cytokinin. If growth of cytokinin is inhibited, so all the function will be inhibited. So the answer will be D. In meiosis, crossing over and exchange of genetic material between homologous chromosomes are catalyzed by the enzyme. It is recombination is enzyme mediated process. It is enzyme mediated process and recombinase enzyme is responsible for this process. So next question is onion root tip cell has 16 chromosomes in each cell. So during G1 phase, the chromosome number will be 16. During S phase, after DNA replication, DNA content will get double, but number of chromosome will remain same. And during M phase also, the number of chromosome remains same. So the answer will be 16, 16, and 16. When karyokinesis is not followed by cytokinesis, it results into more than one nucleus in a cell. That condition is syncytial. Mitosis take place usually in diploid cell, that is correct. In animals, it is generally observed in diploid cell, exception is drone bees, and in haploid cell of some social insect, that is exception of animal mitosis. Haploid cells of some lower plant, that statement is also correct, because in plants, both haploid cell and diploid cell can undergo mitosis. So all the statements are correct, so the answer will be D. Which of the following is true regarding diakinesis of prophase 1? In diakinesis, terminalization of chiasmata can be observed. Chromosomes are fully condensed and mitotic spindle is assembled. That is the end of prophase. All these events will take place in diakinesis. By the end of diakinesis, nucleolus disappear and nuclear envelope also break down. That is also the function of end of prophase, and all these events can be seen in diakinesis. So all the statements are correct. So the answer will be D. We have to find the correct sequence of events during mitosis. Condensation, nuclear membrane disappear. These are the function of prophase. Arrangement of chromosome at equator. This is function of metaphase. Centromere division or segregation of chromatids, a function of anaphase, and last phase is telophase. So this correct sequence is A. Next question. Synapses align homologous chromosome that take place during zygotin. Synthesis of RNA and protein, that is the function of G2 phase. Action of enzyme recombinase, that take place during recombination, and recombination take place in Pectin. And homologous chromosomes separate during anaphase 1. In anaphase 2, chromatid gets separated. In anaphase 1, homologous chromosome gets separated. So the answer will be D. Which of the following state of meiosis involves division of centromere? Just now we have discussed in anaphase 1, homologous chromosome gets separated. In anaphase 2, chromatid gets separated. When chromatid gets separated, so division of centromere will also take place. So the answer will be anaphase 2.